wonder when I'll be as tall as my big sister.
What's so great about Snezhnayan toys anyway?
I've got great food and great drinks that everyone can enjoy.
Welcome. Get your spices here. We've got all kinds.
Everyone is working super hard. We should be too.
What's so great about Snezhnayan toys anyway?
I've got great food and great drinks that everyone can enjoy.
I wonder when I'll be as tall as my big sister.
Welcome. Get your spices here. We've got all kinds.
Every item I sell here comes with its own fascinating story. What's so great about Snezhnayan toys anyway?
I've got great food and great drinks that everyone can enjoy.
La da 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 da. Da da da. Da da da. I wonder when I'll be as tall as my big sister. Whoa! Let's spark. Hands where I can see 'em. Stop right there. Come a little closer. Oz, reveal thyself! Justice will prevail!
Don't get too close.
You're in for a little shock.
Stand stiff! Drop your weapons! By royal decree!
As you wish, mein Fräulein.
Final warning!
Try not to.
Drop your weapons! You asked for it!
Come a little closer. Let's spark it.
Check this out. Here's backup.
You're in for a little shock.
Oh, reveal thyself! Midnight Phantasmagoria! Hands where I can see 'em! Go, Barbara, go!
Here we are. It's also fairly close to where I've been staying.
It looks really nice.
Not at all. Just tell me more about your adventures when you next get the chance.
That's Paimon's specialty. Paimon can tell you stories next time.
Oh, if you don't mind, how about we all walk around together tomorrow? All of my friends will be working the festival, and Dia's still insisting on her covert.
Yeah. It'll be pretty hard to relax and enjoy the festival if Dia's constantly hovering over you.
Then let's meet at the nearby bazaar first thing tomorrow morning.
It's a deal. Good night, Juniors.
I may be too excited to fall asleep tonight.
Paimon's starting to really look forward to the Sub-Zero festival too. Will there be— Oh, no. Thinking about food is just gonna keep Paimon up all night. The earlier we sleep, the better. Let's go. Did we oversleep? We should go meet Dunyarzad right away. Go, Barbara, go!
Traveler, Paimon, I've been waiting for you two.
Good morning, Dunyarzad. We must have overslept a little bit.
Not at all. I arrived early. Today is finally here. I must cherish every moment as if it were gold.
You've worked so hard for this day. You gotta enjoy it to the—
You know it. It's just that, as expected, I had some trouble falling asleep. Well, shall we? Many vendors came out of the blue to support the event, and they insisted on covering costs themselves. Let's go give them some business.
They paid for everything out of pocket? Oh, sounds like they're not in this just for the Mora.
They all said that contributing to a lively festival atmosphere is more important than money. Especially since we don't often get to celebrate Lesser Lord Kusanali's birthday.
Ooh, they're selling food over that way. Let's go take a look.
This is a stall offering foods from the Haftmewa feast.
Oh, you could tell straight away. I thought most people nowadays wouldn't know.
Mushrooms, flowers, and all kind of fruit? It's all vegetarian stuff. Oh, Paimon's a little disappointed. So, what's the Haftmewa feast you mentioned just now?
It's another Sub-Zero's festival tradition. People used to set their tables with 7 different foods. Generally speaking, the most common selections were foods like Rukashava mushrooms, Nilopala lotuses, Sumera roses, Sunsetias, Kapalatas, Hara fruits, and Zaytun peaches.
So, the Sub-Zero festival is a vegetarian holiday?
You don't have to be a vegetarian to enjoy the spread. We just use the 7 foods to symbolize the 7 virtues of the Dendro Archon.
Wait, food to represent the Dendro Archon. Then wouldn't the Pyro Archon's festival be full of food like roasted fowl, juicy meatballs, grilled steak? Oh, Traveler, we have to go to Natlan as soon as possible!
I hope your wish comes true one day, Paimon.
Thanks! Alright, how about we also check out some of these other stalls?
Dear customers, would you like to try your hand at alchemical divination?
What's alchemical divination? Those two things sound like they'd be fun to try together.
Right? I thought the same when I first heard about it. It is said to be a mysterious craft invented by none other than Lesser Lord Kusanali herself.
So, how does it work?
It's quite simple. After you give me any 2 alchemical reagents, I'll use them to perform a random transmutation.
Sure sounds random. So random that it will probably fail.
That is precisely what we need. After the transmutation fails, your one and only diviner here will interpret the remnants.
Well, according to Lesser Lord Kusanali, everything is
Why does everything sound
So that's the true wisdom behind it. Okay, one moment. It's the moon.
Paimon wants to take a look too! Is it? It looks more like a pie that Paimon bit into.
Generally speaking, the moon signifies... It means... Wait a moment.
Is he really looking it up in a book?
Oh, I remember now. It means illusions and lies.
illusions and lies? That sounds rather ominous.
Yes, but this book says that if you trust your intuition and overcome your fears, the sun will surely rise.
He's not even trying to hide his book anymore.
Naturally, fate will only ever show you the...
Oh, it's nothing. I'm just...
Guess that was still...
They say the Sub-Zeros festival was very lively a long, long time ago. Large flower carriages used to parade through the city. As they headed towards Port Ormos, people would throw flowers, candy, and liquor all along the way.
Dunyarzad's eyes are sparkling right now.
I wish I could have seen that spectacle. But if you ask me, I'm sure Nilu's Dance of Sub-Zeros would be just as impressive.
Attention! Soldiers, fall into formation if you want any Yalda.
It's a weird guy with a weird head. Hey, it's Dunyarzad!
Miss Dunyarzad, the children love you even more than in the few short days.
The Hallowed Night of Flowers. It's an honor that you know my...
All right, little soldiers.
Yes, not... just...
Ferris, the Night of Flowers is another Sub-Zeros festival icon, and one immensely popular with children.
It's all thanks to Miss Dunyarzad's...
As are we...
Oh, no.
Whichever one. Ooh,
And there's also...
Huh?
Onikabuto...
Dunyarzad? You tried them before? Traveler, it's alright.
I also believe in your...
Great. These boxes of candy are numbered 1 to 5 from left to right. Which one do you want? Attention!
Oh, Paimon thought you survived so many epic battles because you had incredible luck. But looks like Paimon was wrong.
The Sunsetia flavored candy was in box number 4. How about this? The most important thing is that everyone has a good time at the fest.
Really?
It's night of...
They all basically sound...
Oh, actually, can you come with me to get it?
Dunyarzad?
We're too late. Who knew the little lady was such an early riser?
I know, right? Hey, wait a minute. Boss, isn't that her?
Oh, that most certainly is. We're in luck. She's walking right into our clutches.
Those Eremites don't look like they're up to...
Who are you? I don't believe the Homayanis hired you.
That's right. We haven't received any of their mora, but I wonder how much the Homayanis would shell out to get you back.
They're a gang of kidnappers! Traveler, hurry and protect Dunya!
Hey, did you scumbags even consider that the Homayanis might have hired a merc that outclasses you?
You're... Dia! Dia the Flame Main! No wonder we mercs haven't heard anything about you for so long. You sold your unruly mane to the highest bidder.
Don't speak so disrespectfully. My family started working with her as gratitude for her past kindness.
Don't worry about it, my lady. Just some friendly banter between mercs. One punch and those rabid dogs will expose themselves for what they really are. Traveler, take Miss Dunyarzad to a...
No! We're gonna stay and help! There's too many of them!
Please be careful.
Don't waste your time.
Dunyarzad, are you okay? You look a little pain.
I'm fine. My body always reacts like this whenever I exert myself.
You sure you're okay?
I'll be fine after some rest. I'm more worried about Dia. After all, none of this would have happened if I hadn't insisted on coming out.
Yeah, don't worry.
My lady, Traveler, found ya.
Dia! You took care of them so fast!
Any more of them? Or rather, did anyone follow you?
Dia, your arm.
Oh, this? I'm fine. It's just a scratch. Normally, they wouldn't have been able to land a hit on me at all, but I'm still getting used to this new greatsword.
Please, let me take a closer look.
Come on, it's nothing. Us mercs aren't as fragile as you think.
Hold on, you said something about a new greatsword. What happened to the one you were using before?
About that. Well, I sold it, because I was low on mora. Stuff like this happens every now and then.
It can't be. The anonymous donation that was used for the venue's final round of preparations?
Hey, Miss Dunyarzad, I wasn't trying to make you cry. I'm not gonna lose my commission because I made my employer cry, am I?
Okay, making your employer cry won't affect your commission, but selling your weapon without permission and getting hurt? I'll have to reevaluate your performance.
You're so unreasonable, my lady.
Thank you very much, Dia.
Don't be like that. I get embarrassed really easily.
Are you feeling unwell?
My lady, your condition.
Truly.
Are you feeling better, Dunyarzad?
Yes, much better. Just give me a few moments and I'll be good to go. I didn't realize you were concerned about it. I guess I shouldn't continue to keep it a secret. I was actually born with Elazar. It's terminal now.
Can't believe it's Elazar!
Oh, you've already heard of Elazar. In that case, you probably know about its severity. Sumeru's current medical advancements still haven't been able to find a cure. The disease's progression can only be delayed through environmental therapy.
Dunyarzad.
There's no need to be sad. I've always lived with Elazar, and I came to terms with it a long time compared to the simple fact that I'm afflicted with this. Its effects on my life have been much more painful. I know that my family loves me dearly. They've done all they can to provide the best. Did you know? Before I ran away from home this time, the world, since I was a child, all I could do was sit on my bed and stare. I'm sure my family's worried and disappointed in me for running away, but I just didn't want to have any regrets. I wanted to meet other people. To me, there's nothing more beautiful than being able to meet and speak with others. Not to mention the incredible this way. When my final day does arrive, at the very least, many people will remember that I once existed in this world.
As long as you don't forget Paimon, Paimon also won't forget about you. No, even if you forget Paimon, Paimon will...
Thank you two so much. To be honest, Lesser Lord Kusanali gave me the courage to do all of this. If it weren't for her encouragement, I wouldn't have taken that first. Thanks. There will always be frustrations in life, but I know... Oh, right! Isn't it almost time?
Huh?
Isn't the dance of Sub-Zero? Nilou will and with that, my...
Then what are we waiting?
Yeah!
Add astra...
Were you not aware that the law prohibits this type of performance from taking place without prior permission?
Over there! Someone's yelling!
I think I just saw the Academia's Grand Sage. Why is he here in person?
But the Dance of Sub-Zeros is one of the key parts of
The Sub-Zeros Festival. The law also prohibits the private hosting of large-scale religious festivals. Only the Academia can host such an event. If you continue to resist, we will have to order an investigation into every... The Grand Sage has already granted you much leniency. I advise that you...
How did things...
The Academia was originally responsible for the Sub-Zeros Festival, but they failed this responsibility for many years. I need to speak with them. This is a hard...
Art. Our archon created the utopia that is Sumeru City for all scholars who sought validity, verity, and truth, while people like you...
No!
With your lack of intellectual credentials, I do not believe you are qualified to debate with me. What you should be doing is finding workers to tear down this ridiculous eyesore. When we return, have the scribe draft an ordinance before the next Nyargarbaha Day that prohibits public art performances.
Understood. I will inform him when I return.
The Sub-Zero's Festival. Go celebrate the birth of that god to your heart's
Nilou, are you okay?
Oh,
Yeah.
let's go somewhere Or...
Nilou,
But you've been looking...
it's okay. It would be too risky to continue the Sub-Zero...
If you say so.
The next... Yes. Okay. It's a Paimon
can't believe this is how things turned out. Those heartless geezers.
It really is okay.
A lot happened it. Nilo and Dunyarzad promised to make the next Sub-Zero's festival a success, but Dunyarzad is running out of time. Yeah.
All connections have been secured to construct the most stable framework possible. The project has entered its most critical phase. Power has begun to flow from...
Oh, we're gonna be late! It's all because you and we should go meet Dunyarzad. Good morning, Dunyarzad. Sorry we're late.
Not at all. I arrived.
You seem kinda tired.
I'm doing well. There's no need to worry. Shall we go? Let's start with the stalls over there.
Sure. Traveler? Ooh, they're selling food over that way. Let's go take a look.
This is a stall offering foods from the Haftmewa feast.
You are quite well lit.
Actually,
It's one of the Sub-Zero's festival's traditions. People used to set their tables with 7 different foods to symbolize the 7 virtues of the Dendro Archon.
Remnants appear to be...
really?
The moon signifies... It's escaping me for now.
Is he really looking?
Oh, right. But if you trust your intuition and overcome your fears, the sun will surely rise.
Understood.
Oh, it's nothing.
Guess that was still... So, where to next?
All right, soldiers. Now that you have...
Yes, Knight Ferris! What's going on?
Ferris, the night...
Oh, do you want some...
What's... Ooh!
And there's also...
Hmm.
Great! These boxes of candy are number... Ah, excellently chosen. Number 4 is indeed Sunsetia.
Ha-ha! Paimon bet you had incredible luck, and Paimon was... Huh? How's that possible? It's obviously random. Maybe we didn't sleep very well last night. Or maybe we slept too much.
Oh, sure.
Huh? Where are you...
Ad Astra.
Thank you for complete.
A feeling of deja vu? Oh, Paimon knows what that is. It's when you feel like you've already experienced whatever is going on. In that case, so why'd you run here in such a hurry? So that's it! You're intentionally doing things you usually wouldn't, and
Welcome, you two. Are you here for lunch? What would you like to eat? Got it. You...
charcoal-baked Angelina cake? Isn't it oh, Paimon understands what you're trying to do now. You'd never normally order something like this. That thing? Are you really gonna eat it? Isn't this going a bit too far? How was it? The look on your face is telling Paimon that it tasted awful. Then, you mean... That's impossible. So, would this be a case of taste bud deja vu? Paimon, hey! Dinnerzad is sitting by herself on that bench over there. What a coincidence, Dinnerzad. We meet again.
Oh, I ran into some kidnappers just now, but thankfully Dia came to my rescue. I started to feel unwell after that, so...
Kidnappers?
I'm okay. Dia's arm got scratched, but...
That's...
Not at all. I've always been like this. Besides, no matter how amazing today may be, it is but a single day. After however many more days, my time will come to an end.
Paimon doesn't quite follow you, and Paimon feels like something's really got you down right now.
It really is fine. I don't mind. Huh?
Dunyarzad, have you ever felt deja vu? You know, like when you've already experienced some—
Deja vu? No. But my days have been the same for years now. Even if I were feeling deja vu, I suppose I would already—
Oh, Paimon sees.
It's almost time.
Huh? Time?
Nilu's Dance of Sub-Zeros.
With your lack of intellectual credentials, I do not believe. When we return,
Understood. I will inform.
the Sub-Zero's festival.
Nilu?
Oh, it's okay. There's no—
But you've been really—
It truly is unfortunate.
True, but
The next festival.
wait. What did—
No, nothing. I'll be heading back.
Paimon can't believe what those heartless geezers did! Ah! So, in the end, you still couldn't figure out— Maybe it really was because of exhaustion. Same here. Then, how about we settle in and get a good night's sleep? For now, we can chalk things up to exhaustion. We can do more thinking tomorrow.
Observing a modest drop in the output of jnana energy, but values still remain.
Continue to monitor the variances in the data and find the cause.
Why does Paimon feel so tired? Good morning, Dunyarzad. Sorry.
Not at all. I arrived early.
Huh? Paimon thinks you sound kinda tired.
I'm doing well. There's no need to worry.
Great idea! Let's get going! Traveler? Hey.
It's all thanks to Miss Dunyarzad's sponsorship that the children can enjoy. Oh, are you interested in Yalda? It's not that simple. Each box contains a red. And there's also.
Huh?
No problem. These boxes of candy are numbered 1 to 5 from left to right. Which one do you want? Oh, I like your confidence. No hesitation at all.
Paimon knew he always had incredible luck. Paimon's not really interested in—
Ah,
What?
that couldn't have been luck. Mind reading?
Tell us what's going on! Since when did you get superpowers? Traveler? Hey, what's going on? Did you see something? Us leaving Dunyarzad without letting her know— for? Why did we come here? Traveler? That's... Look! That's... Isn't that Dunyarzad? What's happening here? Why are there two Dunyarzads?
You already know that this isn't your first Sub-Zero's festival, don't you? I'm sure you already know how to use this.
A knowledge capsule? Where did you get it? What's inside?
You should use it too, Paimon.
You know Paimon? Well, this seems kind... What the... This is our 20th time at the Sub-Zero's festival? Huh? No. The 30th? 40th? Have we been trapped in a single day? If it weren't for you, we wouldn't have even realized. What the heck was inside that knowledge capsule?
Your memories are still scrambled? Try your best to remember. This isn't the first time we've met, and I answered that question a long time ago.
Let Paimon think. Oh, it's coming back. Meeting you was the real catalyst for restoring our memories, and the knowledge capsule was just your means of showing our minds the way. What about everyone else? Why are you only helping the two of us?
Your sense of deja vu is stronger than everyone else's, yes? As for an explanation, you two received the blessing of Dendro, and you also have special, sensitive constitutions. It was as if a single sheet of paper was separating those memories from your consciousness. A familiar question. I think this is the 7th time you asked that. As you can see, she isn't doing well. You probably sensed it too. The Dunyarzad you were just with is different from the first Dunyarzad you met. That first Dunyarzad is in front of you right now, and she doesn't have a lot of time left. Looks like you're almost done sorting out your brain. Oh yeah, I'm Nahida. Good, you passed the test.
What's happening? You can awaken our memories, and you seem like you know what's going on. Oh, wait.
Everything in this world runs in a loop. This cycle is called a samsara. You, me, and everyone else are all stuck inside a one-day samsara. As for the truth, that's on you to find out. If you were told the truth instead of discovering it yourselves, it would literally blow your minds. I don't know how you'd be after that. I can only give you surface-level help, like bits of information and subtle hints. For the rest of the time, I'll be doing all I can to slow down Dunyarzad's illness.
She looks like she isn't doing well at all. Her illness gets worse after each Sub-Zero's...
If we can break out of the samsara, I might be able to save her. But as things are right now, She's just a small bird in the sky that's about to lose its last feathers. All I can do is raise a gale to delay her.
You sure love to use weird analogies.
Analogies are wonderful tools. They let you use existing knowledge to understand. Okay, so, with what you know so far, what do you think the truth is?
The Grand Sage said, "Go celebrate the birth of that god to your heart's..." That doesn't sound... The Grand Sage said, "My mind feels exhausted." That doesn't sound... The moon... That doesn't sound... What's happening? That doesn't sound right. We've already... That should be it.
A time loop. You've given similarly wrong answers in the past. A pity.
Still the wrong answer?
A simple time loop can't explain some of the phenomena. You two are still missing a lot of information. Unfortunately, I can't give you any more...
Juniors!
The Sabzeruz festival is happening every day, but that doesn't mean we can waste an infinite amount of...
Let's think about our current situation. To save Dunyarzad, we have to... And to do that, we need to figure out what's happening. Nahida rejected the idea of a time loop, so... Paimon's memories say that we've already done this many times, but... Let's go talk to people again.
Hey, it's you guys again.
She...
I see. Did you come back to buy something? I guarantee the freshness of my products. I harvested them from the forest just yet. Huh? What brought this about? I heard... What kind of fillet? Didn't you know that...
He actually has a point. Is this a dream? Is everyone... True. It's so weird that people here... Anyway...
Oh, it's you two. Was my divination so accurate that you felt compelled to compliment me in person? Ooh,
You're really... So, you're...
Anyway, what kind of situation did you get into? Huh? What you just...
Paimon knew you...
Marvelous.
When you say it...
I believe that the book only...
So that's how... We haven't made any progress. Who else can we talk to? Paimon remembers that we tried talking to her a couple of times, but she always thinks we're playing pranks on her. You think she'll brush us off again? Yeah, if we
I'm fine, my lady. It's just a scratch.
Perfect timing.
Paimon, Traveler, you came at just the right time. Listen, there was a dangerous Huh? You saw? Then why didn't you jump in earlier?
You want the Traveler to take Dunyarzad somewhere to rest up while you check to see if there's still any kidnappers around.
How did you know what I was going to say?
We need to say something convincing.
Dia sold her greatsword to raise it.
Tell her, Traveler!
I didn't tell anyone about that.
All right, so...
It's kinda hard to believe what you just told me. First, let me make something clear. Most of us desert dwellers might not be the scholarly type, but
She's quieter than usual.
yeah, she isn't the same as her parents said that this is how she was like at first.
Huh? At first?
I don't quite understand what you're all talking about.
My lady, are you angry? All right, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt since you knew about my greatsword. Let's make this a quick trip. Miss Dunyarzad isn't completely safe here.
Nahida! We brought a friend! Are you busy?
I thought I told you that it won't help to bring anyone.
We just wanted her to see the real Dunyarzad's
The real Dunyarzad?
Huh?
I told you that you two are special. Other people can't see me or Miss Dunyarzad here.
Hold on. Over there. Is that?
What?
Miss Dunyarzad, she's lying down here, isn't she?
Her condition's really bad, and she's basically in a...
I can sense her aura. There are also lingering feelings of something like regret.
Do you believe us now? The Sub-Zero's festival has... So, you think the sages are behind this?
Yeah, they've always been against us. Wouldn't surprise me if they're using the Akasha to intentionally repeat the Sub-Zero's festival as a sick joke.
You have a point. Aside from the Dendro Archon, the Academia's sages are the only ones in Sumeru who could pull off something like this. Maybe there's more to the Akasha than we know. Right! Didn't you awaken our memories using something that looked like a
The Akasha relies on the power of a gnosis to operate, as it is the manifestation of the God of Wisdom's power. It compiles the wisdom of the entire populace, and it...
A gnosis could do that? No wonder the Akasha is so magical. It's being powered by the gnosis of Sumeru's Archon.
So, this Nahida you mentioned, what did she say?
She said, and Paimon quotes, "The Akasha relies on the power of a gnosis to operate, as it is the manifestation of the God of Wisdom's power. It compiles the wisdom of the entire populace, and it grants now..."
Compiles the wisdom of the entire populace and grants knowledge to the people. Wait. I get the grants knowledge part. That's what people have always used the Akasha for. But compiling the entire populace's wisdom? How does that work?
Did she mean that the sages enter new knowledge into the Akasha? Oh, yeah. That sounds about right.
Okay, Nahida's... That doesn't sound... People in... That doesn't... My mind.
You mean the Akasha is causing our mental fatigue? Huh. Now that I think about it, when the desert dwellers set off on their quest for knowledge, a sage once said, knowledge always comes at a compiling the entire country's knowledge. You think the Akasha pulled a 180 and is extracting information from us? Who knows? The Akasha can put knowledge into our heads, so who's to say that it can't also poke around in there?
What's the point of doing something?
Just think about it. If you could combine the knowledge of every single person in Sumeru, then you can basically turn Sumeru City into a single massive brain. This hive mind could make breakthroughs in problems that even the smartest geniuses can't crack.
An excellent deduction. And the analogy comparing Sumeru City to a massive brain? I love it.
In that case, we should take off our Akasha terminals right away. Maybe that'll solve this problem.
Yeah.
How does everyone feel? Huh? What is it? Oh, that! Paimon knows what you're talking about. It's a single soft beep that sounds like it's coming from...
The sound of a beep. Could it be a prompt tone for when the Akasha is operating?
That's probably an important clue. We weren't using our terminals, but we heard a beep anyway. Traveler!
I heard it too. We took off our Akasha terminals.
Phase runtime has exceeded its expected length. At this rate, there may be casualties.
But we cannot lose all of our
Paimon remembers everything!
Good. You adapted quickly this time.
We definitely took off our Akasha terminals last night, but we still heard that beep. Why's that? But now we can at least confirm... Oh, Paimon doesn't get it. Why would the Akasha go this far if all it wants is everybody's...
It's extremely difficult for lab rats in an experiment to understand why they're being treated the way they...
If we're lab rats, then what are you? Nahida, you've never told us anything...
I guess...
The moon? Wasn't that the...
Anyway, knowing who I am won't help you get closer to the truth, so you should focus on other things. Don't get distracted and miss...
Okay.
Ah, there you are. I've already taken care of those kidnappers. My lady, did you get hurt? What's wrong? Why are you both gawking at me like that?
You didn't get hurt?
Huh? What do you mean this time? Why are you so surprised that I managed to get out unscathed? Those kids were amateurs. Shh! How did you know about my greatsword?
So Dia's lost her memories after all.
Anything strange? It's as if I've already used it to fight a countless number of battles.
You're saying that, although...
That's right.
Traveler, what do you think? Yeah, Paimon's feeling really hopeful. Oh, you're right! Earlier in the Samsara, something like this would have never happened.
I have no...
So you want us to take Dunyarzad somewhere else to rest while you check if there are still...
How did you know what I was gonna say?
Forget it. Dia not getting injured, everything seems to have stayed the same. Listen, Nahida, we found out that Dia got out just fine today, even though she got injured every other time she fought the kidnapper. Do you think the Samsara has been broken? Have we saved Dunya?
Really? Good job on all that progress. Get some good sleep tonight.
Hey, what kind of an answer?
Tomorrow will come. Everyone assumes this is common knowledge, but the only way you can know that for sure is if you experience. How many todays has it been? Is it possible that today will be followed by yesterday? Does tomorrow truly exist as anything beyond a made-up concept? It's even possible that this entire world is a lie, and the history of the whole world has just been one endless Sub-Zero's festival.
Okay, no more.
That's why it makes no sense to waste your energy thinking of get some good rest. You know, use the bathroom and flush your...
Huh? Hold on.
Huh? People always say they feel a sense of relief after they take a duk-duk. That's why I suggested you could try that.
It's so strange and so against common sense that Paimon's at a loss for words. Yeah, even though it's happy and lively at the Sub-Zero...
Continue the harvest.
We're still in the same day. Nahida.
Would there have been a point? You would have spent the night with new worries, with tomorrow still out of reach. In that case, you might as well rest within that brief moment of hope. An opportunity like that doesn't come by often.
Paimon's at the Duke did that! Whatever. Guess you were...
Of course. In the time we've been together, you two have been everything to me.
Paimon's flattered and everything, but maybe you're taking...
What I mean is, even though I had asked you to solve this puzzle, you two are still the only ones who can see me and sense my presence. In other words, if you weren't here, I may as well not exist. That's why you two have been everything to me.
Nahida's talking about confusing stuff.
Anyway, that's enough chit-chat. So, Traveler, did the new clues yesterday help you gain a new understanding of the
Huh? Why are you scrapping your previous theory? Oh, yeah! You're right!
So, what's your new hypothesis?
Mercenaries rely... If all our memories of a day are erased...
Oh! Then the beep we hear every night could just be indicating the deletion of our That's why when we wake up, everyone thinks the Sub-Zero's festival hasn't happened yet. It's already the next day, but everyone still thinks it's the... But muscle memory can't be erased. That's why Dia has been getting better at using her greatsword. Now everything...
A brilliant deduction.
Nahida, tell us if we're right or wrong.
To put it simply, it's as if you've mistaken a pyro crystal fly for a firefly in the night. You lost sight of its true nature because you
That isn't simple at all!
Why don't you...
Right! She did help us...
There you are. Really took me a while to find you.
As expected, Dia also didn't...
Get hurt? Why would I?
Well, you're still getting used to your new great...
Huh. Truth be told, I also think it's pretty strange. It just suddenly felt so familiar in my hands and... wait a second! How did you know I got a new greatsword?
Traveler, could you explain the situation to her today? Paimon's gotten a little sick of doing it. Oh, that works!
What happened to you guys while I was...
Don't think too hard about it.
All right, then.
Yes, you're...
Then I'd have to
Oh? Why do
If we've actually been reliving the Sub-Zero's festival day after day, then what happened to the things we used? The money we spent, the food we ate? Common sense says my wallet should have emptied itself a long time ago. There's no way I wouldn't have noticed that.
Right! They could use the Akasha to record what everyone did that. It's not very likely, but it's also not impossible.
No, it...
You have proof?
You two are surprisingly serious about this nonsensical discussion. Fine, come with me. Miss Dunyarzad, please come along as...
Paimon can't believe it's Dia who wants to show us something this time. 2 days ago, we were the ones taking her to see Dunyarzad.
This is it.
Huh? This is a wooden training dummy.
See those marks on the dummy? Those are the result of several days' worth of practice. Let's say the sages didn't replace it every day. Shouldn't it be hacked to pieces by now?
That's true, but what if they did?
Then the sages would have had to reproduce every mark I left during previous training sessions. I'm a professional fighter. My martial school has always emphasized the importance of refined control. The force, angle, and entry point of each strike is calculated and deliberate. That's why I remember every mark on the dummy, as well as my state of mind as I made each strike. It's just as they say, each swordsman has their own unique style, and even the same swordsman can't make the same cut twice. It would be impossible to copy these marks.
Is it really impossible? What if they used some fancy machine to carve every single...
People often say that a camera's photo can never replace an artist's painting because the former has... The same thing applies here. At a mere glance, I can differentiate carved marks from the results of combat. Whew! I hope that cleared things up for you. Hey, is this that new brain-exercise game that's been super popular with the scholars lately? It's surprisingly fun. Anyway, it's getting late. I should escort Miss Dunyarzad to Nilu's stage. See you later.
Well, back to square one. Is our memory deletion theory also wrong? But at least we've reached some other Yep, that's true. So, strange. Paimon feels like everything... Huh? Leaving the city? You're right! It's really strange. Paimon can't believe it! How about we go back and ask Nahida? Maybe we've forgotten something about...
You're back early today. Did you find something?
Sort of. We're mostly sure now that we're not in a time loop.
Leaving the city. As far as I remember...
We did? But we don't remember anything. What happened after we talked about those plans? What did we say when we got...
Let me think. I don't think you ever actually told me what the outcome was. Oh, it's probably more accurate to say that both times you never came back the whole night. But you two sometimes stay out the entire night anyway, so at the time,
It is true that sometimes we lose track of time during our investigations. Before we know it, it'll...
Really? That's kinda strange. In theory, I should have already...
Yep. Something here's definitely fishy. Let's get to the bottom of this tomorrow. Our memories are back! About that... Well, where should Paimon begin?
Traveler, aside from your memories that were just restored, I have another message for you. Listen to it and you'll understand.
Can't go back. There are countless spaces here. Our Sub-Zero's festival in Sumeru City is just one of them.
Traveler, you should be missing 2 days worth of memories. Paimon will fill you in. It's time to carry out our plan from yesterday. Okay, let's go.
Come a little closer.
Why can't we leave the...
Don't ask me. It's not like I can tell you anything. This is a...
I have a real...
That's your problem.
But it's not like you can just predict business matters in advance.
It looks like the Academia already announced. Let's go and question. Hello, sir. Why can't we leave the city today?
Here we go again. Don't ask me. I don't know either. We just received an order that no one is allowed to enter or exit Sumeru today. They didn't tell us anything else. Angering me won't get you anywhere. If I had that...
It looks like he really doesn't know. If we can't get... This is a good spot. And the guard hasn't... No, huh? Why? Are you going to leave Paimon behind? But... Oh, Paimon... Okay. Promise Paimon that you'll come back as soon... And please... Memories! Traveler! Paimon would never see you again! Paimon waited for you for hours and hours at the city wall and you never came back! You promised Paimon that you... Paimon, calm down. He's here now. I don't think he understood what you were saying. Paimon doesn't care! Paimon wanted to go look for you, but you also said that Paimon should stay! Paimon was so worried and so scared the entire day! Okay, Paimon, can you tell us your perspective of what really... I see. Using 2 people... After that, you left the city. Paimon kept her eyes on you the whole time, but then you... disappeared in an instant. No way! Paimon was watching you with the full... What's your perspective, Traveler? You should... I guess that explains everything. You also lost your memories the last 2 times you tried to leave the... So, if we leave the city, our memories will be completely erased? It really sounds like... But this way, we'll also never discover what's outside! Something like a message? But how come... Don't look at me like that. I'm not used to being stared at. Well... Okay. You want something that can pass on messages, right? Yep! Now... I'm done. Here you go. What? Isn't this just a... I made some little changes. Akasha terminals are already capable of sending messages. I just tweaked it so that it could connect to any... To make something like this? Nahida, you really know the Akasha like the back of your hand. Anyway, we can use... Yep. I'll help you save the messages. It should be pretty easy to use. We'll never know until we try. Let's go then. Let's explore. Okay. That covers everything that's happened so far.
Yes. Although the signal was choppy and had some interference, we still managed to receive 2 messages from you when you were outside.
Okay, now that you understand what's going on, let's hear the messages together.
Can't go back. There are countless spaces here. Our Sub-Zeru's festival in Sumeru City is just one. I've entered another space. Before me are flowing sandstone and howling fish. Impossible and surreal sights. All these spaces are empty except for the occasional ones that contain mute puppets rather than people. I can't sense any human presence.
That's one heck of an info dump. It sounds like you left the Sumeru City space when you set foot out, but everything looked completely normal when Paimon was looking out from the inside. That's unbelievable. And if we take your word for it, the other spaces all had very weird contents.
There's another part here. We only received it last night.
These spaces have been disappearing one after the other, absorbed by something like a sun in the sky. And now, even the final space has also disappeared. Behind me, a lot of spaces just appeared again from thin air. I get it now! Those spaces are actually...
Why did the message end right there?
Probably because yesterday just happened to end at that moment.
Oh, right. Paimon did hear a beep from the Akasha.
The message. It should have come from the Traveler's Akasha terminal.
After the beep, Traveler said even the final space has also disappeared.
Traveler, what do you think that final space could have been?
All the bizarre spaces I saw outside the city had one... That doesn't sound right. My
Oh, so that's what it is! After the sound of the beep, the final space, the Sub-Zeru's festival, later on, Traveler also mentioned a bunch of new spaces materializing the Paimon's head.
Well, consider this. For all the horrors of the Archon War, at its heart, it was just a game where a bunch of gods fought over 7 seas. So no matter how strange or spooky things may look on the surface, maybe all they point to in the end is a small and simple...
Wow, the Archon War, huh? That... Hey! own time to think. All right.
The dance of Sub-Zeros is about to begin. I'm going to go watch it.
Okay. Why don't you go ahead, Dunyarzad? We still have...
Okay then. See you later.
Have you figured it out yet, Traveler? Time is ticking. Awesome! What is it? Paimon wants to know. Oh, wait, no. Let's... You're back! I've been waiting forever for you two. Judging by the looks on your faces, are you ready to take your Sub-Zero's exam and graduate from the festival? Okay. First off, have you discovered the hidden truth?
The moon? That doesn't sound right. We've all... That doesn't sound right. Okay, that doesn't sound... All the... Those spaces remind me of... People in We are all in a dream.
People in Sumeru think they don't dream, but the truth is the Akasha steals their dreams without them knowing it. And those spaces with no human presence are stolen dreams without their host. That would explain why they sounded so weird when he was trying to describe... Huh. So people in Sumeru do dream after all. In fact, we're a correct answer. Now, how did you conclude that the Akasha is capable of this? It is the manifestation... Oh, okay. Those dream-controlling creatures in the forest also get their power from the Dendro Archon, right? That would... But is stealing everyone's dreams really how the Akasha compiles their wisdom? Dreams are fantastical, complex, and full of imagination. People's brains are the most active when they're... In other words, dreams are... So in other words, the complete opposite of how Hypatia understood it. Paimon remembers her saying that the sages think dreams are foolish. The real story is that the sages from the Academia are using the Akasha to steal people's dreams for their... Oh? By the sounds of it, you understand the current situation pretty well. So then, what about the Samsara?
Those spaces kept disappearing before my eyes. Those dreamscapes kept... The grand... That doesn't sound right. My mind... That doesn't sound right. The beat... That doesn't sound right. That doesn't... We've all... That doesn't sound right. Those spaces kept...
is keeping each person's brain in a constant dream state, but also separating their consciousness. Their disembodied consciousness is placed inside. No one is any the wiser as another day passes in the dream. People wake up to yet another dream about the Sub-Zero's festival.
So, this is like a dream factory, and the Akasha is a dream.
Very good, Paimon. Using analogies well is an excellent habit to get into.
Okay, so that beep we keep hearing is actually from our real-life Akasha terminals. Taking off our terminals in this dream doesn't do anything.
All right, last question.
Now that I think about it, wasn't a... That doesn't sound right. They say...
So you noticed. I thought that one would be the hardest question. That's why I put it last.
That wasn't hard at all. Even Paimon guessed that. Everything about you is different. We just didn't want to expose you is all. Now that you mention it, Nahida, you've been hinting to us since the very... It's funny. Thinking back to when we were asking all over the place for info about Lesser Lord Kusanali. Paimon didn't expect to meet you like this.
Yes, those can wait until we're back. On the other hand, I'd be happy to answer any more questions you have about... You asked me this question. Now that you know... Have you heard the saying, don't wake a sleepwalker? Your notion of reality and dream would be That's why I could only give you... Firstly. Secondly, that's because people don't So whenever they...
That reminds Paimon. Traveler
Yes. Only after receiving the blessing of Dendro can a person gain the Dendro Meanwhile, everyone... Deceiving the people after we end the Sub-Zeros.
How can the
In the end, I'm just the moon. The real sun is long...
A sun and a moon? Oh, we're out of time to...
I'll tell you how to break free of the samsara tomorrow.
Good morning, Nahida. Wait. Now that Paimon remembers everything, should we instead say good morning, Lesser Lord Kusanali? Hey, what's wrong, Nahida? You don't look too good.
I'm afraid that what you're thinking right now is correct.
Did Dunyarzad already disappear?
The real Dunyarzad's consciousness has indeed disappeared. It can no longer endure the constant dream harvesting.
Paimon can't believe...
She's actually the real Dunyar, so another Dunyar...
But personality-wise, she's nothing like the real Dunyarzad.
Puppets are stiff and can't copy a living person's vitality. Speaking of which...
Dunyarzad truly believed that she met you within her consciousness. And it was you who inspired her. So you...
Yes. Back then, her family was overly protective of her. No one cared about her personality or thoughts. I just gave her a little wisdom so she could look at life in a new way. So that she could be her own person. But even so, she's still far from it. I'm still a long way off from being a real Archon. I couldn't even save her. If I were a competent Archon, I wouldn't have let my most faithful follower die at the Sub-Zero's festival.
Please don't beat yourself up over it.
I'm not beating myself up. All I did was to rationally observe the distance between...
Don't be like that, Nahida!
To prevent more
Great, but...
Although the Sub-Zero's festival dream is under the Akasha's control, only humans can dream. Even the Akasha is unable to create them. That means this dream belongs to a host who created it.
Huh? So, how should we find...
Well, if this is someone's dream, then everything here must come from deep within their consciousness. Which means, with the power of imagination, they can change...
Imagination?
Imagination means breaking through what you... Like when a server... However, the dream will... But right now, our host is unaware that this is a dream. No matter how many times they're served, it will always find some way.
How are we going to find them, though? If it could, and even if we did find them, how are we supposed to make them realize they're dreaming? After all, like you said, don't we...
It's extremely difficult, yes. But the only ones who can do it are you two. Remember, everything you've achieved up to this point has all been for the sake of finding... As for me, during this time, I'll be out of town.
Out of town? Are you going to that place full of dreams where the Traveler went?
Yes. I want to try something. There must still be a small wisp of possibility. Hurry and go. Dreams are supposed to be fantastical, romantic, and full of pleasant surprises. Unnecessary things like this samsara...
Paimon's still a little upset that we've come this far. She was such a good person. Yeah, but Paimon's wondering, do you think the sages would get one of their own to be the host of this stream? Huh, so who do you think the host of the dream is? Oh, that would make sense. Let's go ask him.
you're back. You left in a hurry last time.
Everything's fine. Just, it's a little hard to explain.
An experiment? That came out of nowhere. I'm listening, though.
Could you make a wish?
You want me to make a wish? Is that a new Sub-Zero's festival tradition or something?
Less questions, more wishing!
Okay. Okay. My wish. Okay. I'm a little nervous saying this out loud, but I want Miss Dunyarzad to be happy.
Oh.
I noticed earlier that she looked a bit down, and she wasn't really talking to anyone. She just doesn't seem like herself. I've also...
So...
Oh, is it that? When she placed the hat of the Knight of Flowers onto my head, she said to me, I want everyone to have a happy Sub-Zero. What she didn't realize was that I'm not that interested in how everyone else feels. In that moment, I just want... Okay, yeah, okay, I'm ready to make my wish. I would like Miss Dunyarzad to appear in front of me right now with a smile on her face. Here goes.
Please come true.
I'm gonna open my eye. Oh!
What?
Faki? Sorry, but only one portion of Yelda candies per person. Back home you go. Nice try, you two. Anyway, never mind.
Guess he isn't the host of this dream after all. Should have expected it wouldn't be this easy. It seems like everyone who knows Dunyarzad loves her.
My lady, step back.
That sounds like Dia! Oh, right. Huh? But Dia can handle them! Hey, Traveler!
Oh, it's you. Great timing. Please take... Hey, this is my job. The homie Yannis pay me, not you. You... Anyway, watch yourself.
So you got yourself...
Come on, you coward! You won this one.
Nice and spicy!
You?
Yeah. Out of the frying pan. Close it in.
I'll take my
Boba, get them! Traveler, were you just taking your anger out on those guys? You and Nahida both. Dunyarzad wouldn't want to see you two like this. Oh, and speaking of her, Paimon just remembered something. Remember how during the first Sub-Zero's festival, before the Samsara started, we came here with Dunyarzad because she wanted to pick something up? She said it was because she had forgotten something. Okay, so Paimon's memory is working so far. Anyway, Paimon also remembers that she is staying yeah, even... This is the place! Hey, the windows are unlocked! Okay, Paimon's gonna take a peek and... This was only a temporary residence, so there was pretty... Should we open it? Wow. Dunyarzad wrote all of this. Sounds like even though she was also busy preparing for the Sub-Zero's festival and had all her health problems to worry about, she must have wanted to give this to us as a gift on the day of the Sub-Zero. If we hadn't found this book, we never would have known. But now that we know, we... Hey! Where are you off? It's Dunyarzad's puppet. Traveler? You must be exhausted. Come to think of it, we've been stuck in this place for a really long time. Heck, even the last time we were chatting happily with Dunyarzad feels like an eternity ago. Paimon still remembers when we were sitting here, and the way her eyes sparkled when she talked about Nilou's Dance of Sub-Zerus.
There will always be frustrations in life, but I know that the point of living is not to leave behind any regrets.
That was what the real Dunyarzad said, wasn't it? Does that mean...
Yes, Traveler. What is it?
Oh, so she's still just a puppet. But just now, how come... What? Where are we going this time?
Today's no good for going out. Did I say that yesterday as well? If you continue to resist, we will have to order an investigation into every The Grand Sage has already granted you. Oh.
Traveler?
Traveler?
Traveler? What the heck are you doing? If you get arrested by the Academia, that's another day gone to waste! Wait, they're not scared stiff? Oh, of course! If this is the sage's plan, they wouldn't put themselves through this. So they're just substitute.
What is this? What happened to the Grand Sage and his entourage? Like I said, they symbolize the goddess of flowers. It's just a shame that all the real Padisaras went extinct after her death.
Yes. The Greater Lord brought forth new Padisaras in memory of the goddess of flowers. But she ultimately could never truly replicate that beautiful shade of purple.
That beautiful shade of purple. Aren't these flowers real Padisaras? Just like the ones from the legend? I didn't even notice.
But didn't you just say all the real flowers went extinct after the goddess of flowers passed away?
Yeah. What's going on here? Huh? You guys are acting... Hey!
They disappeared! So Nilu's the host. What a surprise! Purple Padisaras don't exist in the real world anymore. But in Nilu's subconscious, they can appear as decorations on the stage. It's just like the example Nahida told us. People assumed there will be food on a plate, and Nilu assumed there would be real Padisaras in the flower. So when you saw the flowers, But if we want to end the samsara, we need the host to become a... How should we make Nilu realize that?
Am I dreaming?
Huh?
So I'm right. Is this Lesser Lord Kusanali responding to our celebration of...
Wrong guess, but you aren't completely wrong either. The point is, what made you think this is a dream? As far as you know, people in Sumeru don't dream, right?
Yeah, but have you heard the tale of the first sage? To prevent a calamity, he went on a journey to find the Dendro Archon.
Ooh, sounds familiar. Dunyarzad told us a story like that when we first arrived in Sumeru City.
Yep, but in the part you heard, he hadn't become the first sage yet. There's more to this. His piety and wisdom were acknowledged by the Dendro Archon, and she finally gave all kinds of spectacular scenes appeared in front of the first sage, as if all the knowledge in the world was being painted onto a canvas right before him. He was captivated. After who knows how long, he mastered all the knowledge he could comprehend. Afterward, he said to the Dendro Archon, "I miss my parents, my wife, and my children. I've been away from home for far too long. The Dendro Archon smiled. The next second, the sage found himself lying in his bed, as if he had just woken up from a dream. His wife, lying next to him, said, "You're off to search for the Dendro Archon today, aren't you? Have a safe journey, my love." In the end, the first sage took care of many disasters in Sumeru City, and...
So, the first sage was dreaming ever since the beginning of the story? He never went on his journey?
Yes. But his faith and determination were conveyed to the Dendro Archon, so she blessed him in the form of a dream.
Paimon understands where you're coming from now. That's a really interesting connection.
I see. Well, it just so happens that today's Sub-Zero's festival is almost over, too. Since we're in a dream, let's make this final dance of Sub-Zero's as beautiful as we can. The wait is over, everyone. I dedicate this to our god, the dance of Sub-Zero's.
I'd be lying if I said I had no regrets. I would have loved to see Nilou's dance.
Oh, good morning, traveler. Oh, Paimon feels like she's been asleep for the longest. Paimon's head feels super heavy. Paimon thinks it was the Sub-Zero's festival. Have we finally escaped from the Sub-Zeros? Quick, take off your Akasha terminal. She's not in her room. What happened? Huh? What
Well done, Traveler and Paimon. And thank you, Dunyarzad, for organizing this.
I'm sorry, who are...
Dunyarzad!
Oh, a traveler, Paimon. I have something amazing. I just had a dream. And I saw Nilou performing the dance.
Actually Nahida, aren't you? Paimon felt like Catherine was acting weird when we met at the Sub-Zero's festival, and... Dunyarzad.
It's a really long story. We shouldn't disturb her. Her consciousness is still weakened. Let's chat somewhere else. How about by the...
Let's talk about Dunyarzad first. It's such a relief that she's all right.
After we parted on the last day of the Sub-Zero's festival, I left the city and saw what the Traveler had described. Among the countless dreams, I found one that was growing fainter and fainter. This proved my suspicion. Once Dunyarzad could no longer bear the Akasha harvesting her dreams, her consciousness began to dissipate. But this also meant it escaped the Akasha's control. Such a small fragment of consciousness can't last for very long, though. It will return to its original, where both will gradually fade until they completely disappear. I used all the power I had to keep her dying dream alive as long as possible. But it still wouldn't have lasted for much longer if it hadn't been for you two breaking the Samsara.
So it looks like we did manage to save Dunyarzad in the end.
Huh? Why are you two smiling so happily? I thought you'd be so moved that you'd start crying. I need to spend more time observing human emotion.
Both are fine. Everyone reacts differently.
All right. You two must have a lot of other questions for me, right? After all, you saved my faithful believer.
as your reward, at the Avidia Forest, there was this incense that made the traveler fall unconscious. And dream, you also heard someone's voice, right? It said world, and forget. Yeah, so you do know. We've been wanting to ask you. It seems like the traveler established a connection to Irminsul. That was a message left by Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's residual consciousness in Irminsul. Perhaps her last memory before she died. As you two probably know, Greater Lord Rukkhadevata disappeared after the disaster in Conria. The timings of these events do line up, so a message from Greater Lord Rukkhadevata? We thought it was King Deshret? That god who died even longer ago? Some present-day desert dwellers still worship him. You probably just heard some of their conspiracy. Okay, so what does the... I still haven't managed to decipher it. Even the Akasha isn't currently capable of doing that. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata's residual consciousness in Irminsul seems to be contaminated with something that has a very dangerous aura to it. Many devoted scholars go mad as soon as they connect their consciousness. I've warned the Academia about this many times, but people still keep falling victim to it. But I believe this is the key to saving Irminsul. That's why I've kept trying to So the tree in the vision was Irminsul? Oh, Tainari also said that Irminsul is sick! Is it because of the contaminated consciousness? But even if you can't figure out what that vision was all about, it seems like our search for you was all in vain. The Traveler wasn't affected after coming in contact with that consciousness. I've never seen anyone like that. With you here, we may have a chance at deciphering it. No, we must decipher its secrets. I've already eliminated all other factors that might affect Irminsul. This is the only one. This puzzle has life and death at stake. To be accurate, I'm using the Akasha as a medium to occupy Catherine's consciousness. How did you do that? Poor Catherine. Theoretically, I can enter anyone's mind as long as they're wearing their Akasha terminal. The Akasha is the legacy of Greater Lord Rukkhadevata. As Lesser Lord Kusanali and the first Akasha terminal, my consciousness has always been linked to the Akasha. I've always respected my people's free will, so I've never actually occupied their consciousness. When necessary, I just borrow this bionic Snezhnayan puppet. Hold on. Did we just learn some deep, dark secret? So Catherine is... No wonder Paimon felt something was off about... What about your own body? Why do you need to borrow other people's? Don't you live in the sanctuary of... That story begins a long time ago. After Greater Lord Rukkhadevata disappeared, the sages found my newly born self and took me back to Sumeru. At that time, I was young and weak. The sages kept me in the sanctuary of Suristhana, ostensibly for the sake of protecting me. But I've hardly heard from them since. However, I do understand that they had hoped to find Greater Lord Rukkhadevata instead of me, a symbol of her passing. So, the sages basically put their new archon under house arrest? How dare they! What? In some ways, they aren't wrong. Greater Lord Rukkhadevata was omniscient and omnipotent. Even after her death, the Akasha is still empowering this nation, and I'm still really far away from being... Yeah, you got a lot of believers. Just look at the Sub-Zero's festival. Thank you for the kind words. But I honestly don't need physical freedom as long as I can connect my consciousness to the Akasha. Trying to find a way to save Irminsul is my life's mission and top priority. I will work on that, and try to live up to being a deity in the meantime. Every once in a while, I will also take up the duties of the God of Wisdom and enlighten a lost soul here and there. Got it! To be honest... Oh, and go and get some sleep. Leave everything down... What a relief. This is truly the most exhausting birthday I've ever had.
Traveler? Paimon? Why am I here? Do either...
Maybe you were sleepwalking interesting. You know you can't wake up a sleepwalker. We have...
I see. Huh. I should visit my maintenance personnel sometime.
We've spent quite some time in Sumeru City, but ever since we last said goodbye to Lesser Lord Kusanali, we haven't heard anything from her. Oh, we can't just keep waiting around like this. Let's go find Catherine and pick up some work so we can at least keep ourselves busy.
Ad Astra Avisask. We meet again, you two.
Hi, Catherine. Do you have any commissions for...
Commissions, huh? Oh, how about this? Please attend the Academia's Academic Symposium this afternoon and recite a love poem on stage.
Wait, say...
And if possible, please also use your camera to capture the reaction of the audience upon finish.
Huh? What kind of commission is that?
I see. In that case, please go to Port Ormos and convince the Eremites there to spend some time volunteering at the local orphanage.
Hey, that's not any better. Paimon's gotta ask. Just who exactly has been submitting these commissions to the...
Oh, the commissioner? Well, actually, I just wanted to see the two of you in action.
Was it so obvious? I was hoping you would actually take one of those commissions. That kind of chance to observe humans doesn't come by often.
Ah, so it's Nahida. Paimon just knew Catherine wouldn't crack those kinds of jokes. When did you get into her head?
From when she said, Ad Astra Abisask.
So it's been you this whole time? Are you done resting up, Nahida?
Yes. I've been sleeping ever since we parted ways, and I even had a really, really long dream. It was another dream about the Sub-Zerus Festival. In my dream, I was sitting in the middle of a flower terrace, and everyone in Sumeru City was holding hands as they danced in circles around me. I also got to sit...
You know, Nahida, maybe your dream is how the Sub-Zerus Festival really should be. It's meant to be a joyous time where everyone gets together to celebrate your...
Huh? Wasn't I describing a really happy dream? Why are you both looking at me like that? Wait, could this be an example of the emotion known as pity?
No, we aren't pitying you. That would only make everything worse. We just don't want you to feel too sad. By the way, have you had a chance to visit Dunyarzad? How's she doing? The Homianis haven't allowed any visitors after the festival, so we haven't been able to
Yes, I paid her a visit right after I woke up. She was resting at the time. Her condition is stabilized. However, since Elazar is a manifestation of the withering on the human body, we can only cure it by finding a way to take care of Irminsul's own wither. But for the moment, our top focus should still be figuring out what the sages are up to and what they're planning.
Right. Who knows what'll happen if they manage to pull off another scheme like the Samsara of the
So our first priority should be investigating and putting a stop to the sages' activities. As for how we should pull that off, let's discuss it somewhere else. There are too many adventures.
Oh, good point. Sorry, adventurers. We're gonna be borrowing Catherine for a little while.
Let's continue our chat here.
Okay, so do you have any ideas on how we can investigate the sages, Nahida?
Actually, I've already done a little bit of work on that. But for now, I want to hear your thoughts. No way, that's...
You mean it'd be too easy to get...
No, it's doing that with people.
That's a good point.
I've already tried that. It seems that from the...
Have you already caught...
I'm guessing not. In any case... We're in the dark as of now, since we still don't know anything about their... After all, every person in Sumeru City is one of their hostages.
Nahida, you're super smart, so you already have something in mind, right? Don't...
According to a popular theory from the Vahumana Darshan of the Academia, rejecting impractical motions at the beginning of a planning session will...
Okay, but aren't you the god of wisdom? You don't have to use that kind of gimmick to make us take your ideas seriously.
Well, I've been thinking that if I can't directly possess the leaders, and if I can't get ordinary people involved, then I should find someone who's already involved, but hasn't decided to side with the sages.
You're saying we should recruit a spy? Oh, before coming back, we met someone named Alhaitham. He seems like he acts alone, and he likes doing stuff behind the Academia's back. They probably aren't in cahoots.
Actually, I already have someone in mind. Do you still remember that female scholar named Setaria?
Setaria. Paimon remembers now. Isn't she the one who's always trailing behind the Grand Sa... We ran into her basically every time the Sub-Zero's festival repeated itself. Paimon still remembers the smug and mean way...
I've always liked observing all kinds of people, and Setaria has always stood out from the crowd. She was born in the desert, and was hailed as their greatest genius. Her academic gifts allowed her special admission into the Academia, and also gave her the opportunity to serve as the sage's assistant.
Oh, Paimon didn't know she was from the desert. She must be pretty special then. Paimon feels like most of the desert dwellers around the city are working as mercenaries.
The name Setaria means star. When she lived in the desert, she shone like the brightest star in the night sky. Later on, she was chosen by the sun. The star was given a place in the daytime sky to complement the sun's dazzling. Soon after, the star witnessed the sun scorching the earth, which brought forth many. The star began to waver. Instead of staying beside such a sun, wouldn't it be better to return and light up? But in the end, she couldn't give up the radiance of daytime. To cope with her shame, the star buried her guilt and closed her eyes.
From the sound of it, Setaria's just hung up on the research opportunities here. But she doesn't really support the Academia. She still feels guilty about not doing more for the desert, right?
Indeed. When they are presented with complex moral issues, many people will simply plug their ears and go with the flow until the problem can't be fixed, and she's suppressing a lot of guilt. But before she realized it, she had already become the sage's accomplice. She can't deny right. We must somehow make her face her problems again. That way, not only can we get useful intel from her, from my past observations, Setaria will take a day off from the Academia every 10 days to do some Tomorrow afternoon just happens to be a shopping day for her. To prepare, let's go check out some of her favorite...